So we have Prayug for learning and teaching platform, and for internship and training program, we have Stuintern. And for build your resume and resume builder, we have Resume Motion. For job portal searching jobs nearby your location, we have Navrojan. For education and searching universities, schools, colleges nearby your location, we have Vidyapun. For psychometric test, we have sudaksta.com. For research and development, we have anushram.com. So these are the services Stability Technology provided, like codes. Give me a second. Shalini ma'am, you can continue from here. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this masterclass about accounts. Before I start, I would give a little introduction about myself. Who am I and what do I do? And after that, I would just want a quick introduction from you all. Like in the chat box, I just want you to write that what you are doing, student, experience, working, professional, just that this much. That's it. So coming to me, I have done my double master's at MBA in finance, and I've been working as a business financial analyst for over a period of 3.5 years now. So this was a quick introduction about me. So that's how I link with finance and accounting as a whole. So now I want a quick introduction. I just want to see, okay, I got an answer, somebody's experience from Chanda. Just write it quickly. Like, I just want to see what my crowd is. It's experience, you're working professional, you're a student. Just a quick introduction from you guys. I hope I'm audible to everyone, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, working professional. I got Shyam Prasad. Okay, nice. So I would start with my masterclass today. So let me tell you in what is the curriculum, what is the content that we'll be following in the masterclass basically. So because it's the first masterclass about accounts, and I'm hoping that everybody doesn't know about accounts, what is accounts in depth. So there is homemaker also in our group, there is student also in our group. So we will be making you acquainted with the idea of finance, with the idea of accounting as a subject and what it deals with across. So it's a very huge, accounting itself is a very huge thing. We study accounting, we see study accounting for 3 years, 5 years down the line. So it takes a little bit of time to grasp accounting as a whole. But definitely we will be working towards making your base knowledge or making your idea about accounting really cool from here. And let's see where we go by the end of an hour. Okay, let me share my screen. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I hope you all can see my screen now. Okay. So when I'm explaining something, I would want you to listen and understand. If you have any question, please keep it noted down somewhere, because by the end of the session, I will definitely keep 5-10 minutes for you guys to ask me anything you want. Okay, it may not only be something which I have been teaching you or which I've been showing you currently. You can ask me anything which is related to accounts or whatever question comes up in your mind as we go across in this process. Okay, I hope so I'm clear with everyone. Please write it down. Huh? I know you'll forget by the end of the session. So we'll be talking about accounting. What exactly comes to your mind when I say the word accounting? I want you to answer. You write down in the chat box. What exactly comes to your mind? You can write down the word in the chat box. Is there any trouble with my voice? Can you tell me? Can you hear me? Somebody is writing to me that the voice is breaking.
It's clear now. Yes.
Okay. 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 Counting anything. Somebody answered me counting anything. Okay. What is the first word that comes to your mind when I say account? I want more answers. I want people to write it down. Counting. I'm waiting for your answers. Whatever you think, it could be counting, it could be money, it could be some sheet which comes to you, it could be anything, basically, whatever comes to your head. Okay. Somebody wrote pesa, money. Okay. Debit, credit. Okay. Very nice. Debit credit is something which I also used to say. When accounting is a process, we're keeping day-to-day records. Right? Day-to-day records. Okay. Accurate counting. Accurate accounting. So you can't use accounting in the meaning of accounting itself, right? I already asked accounting. Okay. So one thing which I got the answers majorly is money, pesa, like you said. And of course, as you see, there's money, then there's a thing, there's balance sheet, or there is what they say, maintaining of records, sheets like balance sheet. Balance sheet is something which you always have heard somewhere or the other, right? There's maintaining of records, and there's debit credit, right? It's a track we keep the financial records. Okay, I get it. Now somebody said counting. So see, I had everything already in my file. What did they say? It's money, pesa, accounting, it's sheet recording. That what comes into our head when we say accounting. But let me tell you, accounting is very vast. Finance is vast, very vast. And accounting is a part of finance. Yes. Accounting, like you rightly said, all these things mixed up. We are regulating it, we are writing it down somewhere in some method or the other. And then, of course, we are keeping a record of it, we are summarizing it, we are analyzing it. That is accounting. Okay. But when I talk about finance, finance is itself a huge umbrella. When I say finance is a huge umbrella, what do I mean is this? Under finance, accounting is one part. Under finance, accounting is just one part. Finance is a huge umbrella. Finance includes everything, right from our economy, which includes economics, to our accounting, to things that we do like our investment. Rather, we go for our shares, stocks, debentures, bonds, whatever we do, everything comes under finance. So finance itself is a huge idea. But when it comes to accounting, accounting is a part of finance, which is bothered, as you can see, which is bothered with recording, summarizing, analyzing, reporting, and finally giving it to you, the result. This is what accounting is bothered with. Okay. As you said, recording, somebody said that I'm going to keep a track of my financial transactions. Yes, we have to record it. But somebody said day to day. Is it important that we keep everything
Ma'am,
day
your
to
voice
day?
is breaking.
What do you say?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. It's okay if you turn off your camera because
A lot of people are complaining my voice is breaking. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I just try to see if there is some problem from my end. So where were we? We were talking about accounting, right? I said you as the definition stands, it's involving recording, not only recording, we are classifying, we are summarizing. Somebody said to me that we have to do the accounting every day. Is it needed to do every day? What do you think? Just say yes or no. Okay, it's yes, needed to do every day. Well, I'll tell you something.
Either,
Somebody talked about
ma'am, sorry for the disturbance. Guys, either you can unmute yourself and speak, or simply you can write in the chat section Y or N. Y stands for yes, N stands for no. Got it? So, Shalini ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. It's better if you people write on the chat box so I can see all the answers in front of me. Yes, you said that yes. Everybody's saying me yes. Nobody said me no. When we are talking about personal finance, somebody said that I'm going to maintain my recording and accounting transactions every day. So if you talk about personal finance, like my finance, it's not needed to make it every day, right? Because I don't do that much of transactions every day. But when it comes to a company, we'll be talking about company as a whole. When it comes to a company, yes, it's needed to have every day, basically, because companies do a huge amount of transactions. Huge amount of transactions every day. Everybody, I'll tell you to mute yourselves. Yeah, because there might be disturbance in the background otherwise. So companies do a huge amount of transactions every day. So when there's a huge amount of transactions every day, it is needed that you record it. You keep on recording it because otherwise you're not able to find your transactions by the end of the day. So when you said that, all whatever definitions you said in bits and pieces is right. But together, accounting is rather about recording the transactions, you summarize it, you classify it, and finally you have to analyze it after summarizing the informations. Okay. And you have to analyze it, you have to summarize it for whom? For whom are we doing all this stuff? We are doing it for the company, we are doing it for the investors, we are doing it for the customers, we're doing it for people like us who will in the future go and invest in the company. Right. So we'll be going ahead. So we have heard the term bookkeeping, right? We have heard the term bookkeeping. So can anybody tell me what is the difference between bookkeeping and accounting? Again, in the chat, I'm looking in the chat. Okay, I'll repeat the question for you, which is, what could be the prime difference between bookkeeping and accounting? We hear the term bookkeeping along with accounting. I would request keep the chat box for the answers which I'm asking currently. If you have any questions, I'll come to it. Okay, somebody wrote it similar. Okay, Chanda wrote that it's similar. It's not similar, Chanda. The name comes up together. The name comes up together, bookkeeping and accounting, but they are not similar. Rather, bookkeeping only means we are recording the transactions. Okay, we are recording. Similarly, I've spent some amount in somewhere and I'm noting it down. For example, I probably bought some sweets and I'm writing it down. That is bookkeeping. Okay, didn't transaction? Yes, that is bookkeeping. But as I said, accounting a little bit vast than bookkeeping, right? Accounting is vast than bookkeeping. Accounting also talks about analyzing it, summarizing it. Bookkeeping is just you're keeping a track of your transaction. That's it. I hope the difference is clear now. Somebody gave me an answer that whenever accounting comes into his head, he thinks about debit and credit, right? Whoever told about this, that debit and credit, that person basically wanted to mean double entry system, right? When I'm saying debit and credit, I'm talking about double entry system, right? So what is this debit and credit? Somebody answered me debit and credit. I want that person to answer back. I'm looking into the chat. Huh? You have to answer me in the chat. What is this debit and credit? When I said what is accounting, the person replied me that he thinks about debit and credit. Debit what comes debit what comes in and credit what goes out is only in case of real account. And when I say real account, I'm talking about accounts where assets are involved. When I say assets, I am talking about assets like building, furniture, cash. Only this thing works. Okay. Again, income. So you are telling me the golden rules of accounting, right? We'll not delve into so much, critical things. We'll just talk about very natural things. Debit and credit is a part where accounting formed. It talks about that double entry system. That means if there is, suppose, for example, if I am selling something to you, you on the other end is purchasing something from me, right? So there's two events happening simultaneously, right? I'm giving you something, you are getting something, right? You're purchasing. So from my end, if you look from my perspective, it is selling. If you look from your perspective, it is buying, right? So this is what double entry system talks about. This is all about debit credit. Like if something happens, if there's an action, there's a reaction, we know that it's something like this. If one thing happens, there is two things happening simultaneously in one transaction. In one transaction, two things, minimum of two things happen simultaneously. If we look into two different perspectives. Yes, you're completely right, Madhu. As asset increases, debit, yes. That is what we were talking about in the real account case. Yeah, you all are correct. But when I'm asking double accounting system, you don't only give me rules of accounting or golden rules of accounting. It means that if something is happening, it is happening from both ends. It's happening in two scenarios. Now, when I said I am selling you something, if you are my accountant, you will be looking it from my perspective. That means it's sales for you. If you are your accountant, right? So it will be purchase for you. You will looking it from your end. I hope this part is clear. Yeah. Now we will come to the first set of recording. I'm pretty sure you must have heard about it. The first set where we record things is the journals. From journals, we go to ledgers, right? Journals are what? Like we are continuously talking about recording transaction. So when the first transaction happens, it is always in a very sentence format. Okay. For example, I'm telling you that I sold goods to you. Okay. For example, let me name is X. X sold good to Y. That's it. Okay. This is what you write down. But then there is a proper method so as to make it readable to the accountants or readable in a very generic format. Okay. That is where journal comes into it. In journal, we record in chronological order. When I say chronological order, I mean in time base, whatever transactions happened. I bought goods, I sold, I bought in sweets, I bought this, I bought that, whatever I bought, I sold, whatever I did. I took a loan, I paid back a loan, whatever I did. Those all are my basic transactions. And then what we are doing, we are noting down these transactions in a journal. When I say journal, date-wise, I'm following and I'm writing this transaction in a proper method which has been specified. So when we all experience people here, we know in journal, we mention debit and credit. Of course, this is the method and this is the format which has been specified. This is not something me and you have formed, right? So we all know that there is a debit and credit, there's a double entry system. Now we have to make sure that we present our transaction in that debit credit format. And that is where journal comes into place. When I write down, I took a loan from Chanda, right? I took a loan from Chanda. So that is what? That is just a transaction. I have to present it in a double entry manner. That is in debit and credit format. That is where journal comes in. From journal, what do? We make ledgers. It's again a way of posting. What we are doing from the journal, we are making sure that we are opening an account on everybody's name. I hope so. A little bit of Hindi people understand. If I say sabke naam pe, we are opening a khata. That is it. Okay, we're opening khata in sabke naam pe. That's it. So in journal, we see who all have dealt with us, who all have done transactions with us. And in ledger, what we are doing, we are opening an account on everybody's name. That's it. So similarly, from the journal itself, we are going to take the data and we are going to show it in the ledger. We are going to show an individual आदमी या individual asset जिसका भी खाता open किया है, individual people's account. Okay, when I say people, I mean people as assets, everything, income, expenses account, individually. Now I have heard the word reconciliation. That is something which is a very accounting term. Okay, reconciliation. Otherwise, in generic English term, we use matching. Match karke dekh lo. We say this, right? Reconciliation is a very accounting jargon. So what does reconciliation mean? If I'm going to reconcile with you, let me reconcile with you. What does reconciliation mean according to you? Again, I'm hoping the answers in the whatever comes to your mind. Okay, whatever one word comes to your mind. How many amounts we can get or need to pay from parties that record? No, that is not reconciliation. I'm sorry, Chandra, that is not reconciliation. Recheck the transaction. Ledger, no. Ledger and reconciliation are different things. Reconciliation is a term. Ledger is a statement. Okay, reconciliation is a term. Ledger is a statement. Ledger is a way of showing. Bank reconciliation is a type of reconciliation, but my question is not that. My question is simply what is reconciliation? That's word. What does it mean? Matching, yes. That is the Chelsea language we use, matching. Yeah, true. The example that you gave, Jana, Jan, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Jana, is an example of bank reconciliation to check all three. Not only these three, there are more than that. Similarly, I'll just say a very simple thing, okay? What is happening? I am doing a lot of transactions with you, okay? I am telling you, here you also maintain a record. In your copy, keep on noting down, okay? And in my copy, I am also noting down, right? I am also noting down. So in the end of the month, what we are doing, you bring your copy and let me bring my copy. And let us see and match. Are they think this is or not? Okay. No, this is not a CA foundation class, Madhu. This is the basic of accounting. I'm sorry, this is the basic of accounting. This is not a CA foundation class. No, this is really the basic of accounting. Why? These are types and jargons which I'm making you acquainted with. Because as you go forward in accounting, these terms will be used and you must be knowing what they mean. Okay. Comparing two sets of records. Yeah, that is true. So when I said you, I am maintaining a record and you are maintaining a record. And the end of the month, what I'm saying, just let us see what both the records show the same data or not. That is reconciliation. When I use the term reconciliation, that's so simple. That's English term. That's it. And I have to see if my record shows something less, I have to note it down what I have missed. You have noted. There could be some records which you might have missed. I have noted. So we are kind of matching our records. That is what reconciliation is. Don't worry. I'm not going into so much of details. You don't have to worry about CA and all this stuff now. I'm just talking about the jargons. I'm talking about accounting as a sect, accounting as a subject, and we will be talking about the terms that we come across today. Okay. Yeah. So now we all know that accounting is maintaining of records and all. The first person, somebody also wrote it down to me. When I'm talked what is accounting, they're saying recording the transaction. They said accurate accounting. Accurate accounting, right? Accurate means what? When somebody said me, somebody wrote it down. I forgot the name. Somebody wrote it down to me that accurate accounting. What did you want to mean by accurate? The person who wrote me accurate, I want that person to answer. No mistakes. Okay. Yeah. What if you make mistakes, Chanda? What if you make mistakes? See, we all are humans. We are only doing accounting, right? What if you make mistakes? Don't worry. Accounting gives us a scope to correct our mistakes also. So don't worry. By the end of the term, after preparing of you don't have to count your mistakes. Basically, you just have to find out your mistakes and to correct them. Yes, invert the entry. Okay, yeah, you have to invert the entry. There are some other ways to correcting mistakes also. So inverting entry is one of the way that you're talking about. Inverting entry is possible when you have passed a journal and then you have to rectify the journal. Okay. In different stages, when you find out the mistakes, there's a lot of different ways to change it or rectify it. What is the importance of this accurate statement? Why did I use the word accurate? And the person who used the word accurate was entirely correct when he said accounting in the very beginning. Very correct. Why did we use the word accurate? We are making accurate. We are using accurate is because you have to understand this is a very important statements or very important profiles and portfolios that you're going to make by the use of accounting techniques. And they are going to be used by very important people. Okay. Mostly, if you must have seen, company publishes all their accounts in the annual report, right? So they can't make mistakes. You have to understand this report is being used by the government. This report is being used by the public. This report is being used by the investors. Especially, you cannot give, false information to your investors, right? So that is the reason that you have to understand, because even the higher management people, accounting is so important. I am sitting at the CEO level. I am not going to do the accounting. Somebody else is going to do the accounting and bring it to my concern, right? It's going to bring it to me, and I'm going to take the decision based on those figures. So you have to understand how important those figures are, because my decisions are based on that figures. The strategic decisions of the entire company are based on those figures. That is where our accurate financial records, or we have to make sure that whatever accounting we are doing are very much accurate. Okay. Now, the most important thing, why you all are here? Because you want a career in accounting, right? Any idea where you want to pursue, where you want to see yourself in accounting in the coming down the line? in the coming years? Okay, yes, CA, great. Okay, I've done my CA, that's why I'm saying it's great. No worries. It's one of the most difficult courses. It's very interesting, and you'll have a great grasp in the course of accounting over the period of time. Let me talk about a little bit about the accounting globally. So let me tell you, globally also accounting has very much usage, very much, especially in places like US and Canada. There's a huge shortage of accountant also, US accountant. So of course, and whatever basics of accounting we study remains same throughout globe. So you don't have to worry about, okay, I have to study the new basics. No. Few rules and laws and methods of reporting. Okay. For example, if India will tell you to show something in the left hand side, US might tell you to show something in the right hand side. But the concepts of accounting and the basic remain same worldwide. So there are people who have done accounting in India and working in US, working in Australia, everywhere. So there are courses like public accountant, management accountant, government accountant, internal auditor. The person who said, see, of course, you can be an internal auditor as well. You don't have to be an external auditor always. You can be an internal auditor as well. And when an internal auditor, it doesn't matter, you work here, you work globally across. So what exactly you require is, of course, a little bit hold on numbers and communication. And another third important, very important thing is attention to detail. When I say attention to detail, that is what accurate comes into play. You have to be very sure whatever you are writing, whatever you are saying, this must be backed by your logic. There must be a proper answer to whatever you have done. Of course, when I come to India, there's so many roles, as you can see, there's CA, there's cost accountant, there's company secretary, there's financial analyst, something which I work as. Okay. CAs, as you already know, and all these certifications and qualifications are from the respective institute, right? CA have their ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountant. And so these are extensive courses. Of course, it takes a little bit of time, 3 to 5 years for each one of them. But let me tell you, they're awesome roles and they are very good in case of career building, both in India and globally. So now when we come to the principles of accounting, these principles are same across borders. So you don't have to worry about it. Somebody's planning to work here, planning to go abroad, it's the same. It doesn't matter. So very important things, accounting principles, which should be in our head once we are dealing with accounts as I said. First thing is, you must be heard the word going concern. What does the word going concern mean? Quickly. Accounting and finance are different things. Yes, Simran, that is what I said in the very first beginning. Finance is a big umbrella. Accounting is a part of this umbrella. Understand? That's what I said in the beginning. Okay. Okay. ACCA, very good. Whoever is trying to do. Okay, tell me, what does going concern mean? One word. Quickly. Going concern. Should go for a longer period. Yes, exactly. When we are doing accounting, we have to make sure it is already assumed that your business is an ongoing process. For example, let me say by mistake, today I wanted to buy 2 packets of chips, but I bought 5 packets of chips. Okay. And now I'm just telling my friend, Kisli, I bought 3 packets extra. I'm going to sell it off to you. Does it mean I'm doing a business of chips? Tell me. Yes or no? Y for yes and N for no. No. Okay. Simple. Okay. Yeah, exactly. One day you are doing a business, even for short time, for 2 days. I went to Lucknow and I bought a lot of kurtas from there and then I just sold it off here to my friends. So is it business? No. Business is something which has to go for a longer period of time. That is what going concern says you. Okay. Number 2, I'll come the word across consistency. Okay. Consistency is an English term, normal English term. You don't have to worry. It's not an accounting term. If I'm telling you, somebody has told you in your childhood, definitely. Okay, it's easy to come first. It's easy to come first in class, but you have to be consistent in this record, right? You have to hold your record consistently. Right? What does it mean? That you have to be consistent. By consistent, it means it's not good that you came first one day and you worked hard one term and then you're not working hard in the remaining of the terms. That's not done, right? So when I'm saying consistency, I'm talking about the procedures or the methods which has been used by your company. It should be consistent across the years. I will use some method today. Tomorrow, I will use some different method. I'll do it differently. That does not hold. Okay. What will happen? You as an accountant yourself will get confused. Number 1. Number 2, you cannot compare your own work. You cannot compare your own work. Last year, I was judging you on the basis of your English marks, and this time I'm judging on the basis of your maths marks. It's not comparable. Both are two different subjects, right? So you cannot compare your own work. This is one very important thing. So consistency means across your reporting tenure, no matter wherever you're working, across your reporting tenure, make sure whatever methods you're using are consistent across. Number 3, I'll come to accrual basis. Now, this accrual word or accrual word is a little bit accounting word, I would say. We don't use that term in normal English. Any idea what accrual means? Anybody? We already have experienced people here, so I'm expecting some answers. Okay, somebody's writing. The term accrual. Outstanding. Future. Okay. Yes. See, I'll tell you something. There are two bases. Okay. One is cash basis and one is accrual basis. आज मैंने आपको कुछ बेचा. I sold you something today and you paid me the money. That's cash basis, over and out. It can happen that I'm selling you something today and you are saying, I will give you the money by the end of this year, end of December. Or you can say me, I will give you the money in parts. Like we do have EMI payments and all that. We will give you in parts. So what accrual basis says is that we record our transaction. We write it down when the transaction takes place, not exactly when cash is received. You understand? I am selling you something, but not invoiced yet. Yes. Jana, you're right. Yes, exactly. So see, I have so great people on the class already. So if I'm selling it off to you today is 15th of June, I'm selling something to 15th of June. You tell me that you will pay it in 31st of December. Do I record my transaction? Do I write it down in my copy that I sold you this today or on 31st of December? I would be writing it down today. Though I have not received the cash, mind it. That is what accrual basis of accounting says. And every business does accrual basis of accounting because everything is not bought in cash. Rather, majorly nothing is bought in cash. Okay, nowadays, we all have EMI, we all have future payments and everything. So every business does an accrual basis of accounting. Last but not the least, very important part is full disclosure. I kept on telling you this accurate accounting and everything. That is meant full disclosure. Everything which is important to the company should be disclosed. Okay, should be disclosed properly, and everything which is important, which is significant, should be there in the financial statements. Now, of course, there is one very important concept. I should be saying that in the beginning itself. That is the business entity. We all know that business and an individual business and its owner are different persons. By our law, not only our law across the globe, business has been given an individual identity. Yes, you're totally right, Pradima. Full disclosure, you're totally correct. Yes, that's what it means. So when I say I was talking about business entity, when I said this, we know Reliance. Reliance is a different entity and Ambani is a different entity. If I have some problem with the product of Reliance, I would be complaining, or I can go to court and raise a case against Reliance, because Reliance, I know it's a company, but at the same time, Reliance has been given an valuation of an entity by the law itself. So company is a different entity from its owner. So I can go and I can sue Reliance. You will say Reliance is not a person. Yes, it's not a person, but still it has been given the entity benefits by the law. Yes, perfectly correct. Yes. You can understand what a business entity means. Artificial person. So true. Money measurement. There's nothing to talk about. It's so easy. Money measurement is whenever we are writing down some figures, right? You have to have some unit of measurement, right? What is the unit of measurement? Is the currency, is the money, right? For accounts. For example, you are measuring petrol, you are doing in liter, right? You are measuring some vegetables, you are doing in kg. So similarly, the unit of measurement for accounting or for anything is the currency. It's rupees, it's dollar, it can be pound, anything, but it's money. Okay. Now, the very important two concepts, which I really want you to know, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come to use, whether you are doing CA, whether you are working for attention to detail, whether you're working as a public accountant, everything. That's the concept of conservatism. Any idea? Anybody can throw a light? See, conservatism means, I'll tell you, it's a very nice concept. It's that if you are assuming that in your future, there will be some loss. You are assuming, let me tell you that, loss abhi tak hua nahi hai. Loss has not happened yet, has not occurred yet. You're assuming that in the future, there would be some loss. What do? You already make a record of the loss today. You already say that you assume. You already make a provision. By provision, I mean you already put some amount aside because you're assuming that there would be a future loss. But if you are assuming that in the future there would be some gain, some profit, then you don't do that. You will be like, why it is not equality? Yes. The concept behind this was this, that if in future some loss is going to happen, loss is always a shock, right? For investors, for businessmen. So you already keep some amount aside to save yourself from the shock that you might get. But in the future, if some profit is going to happen, profit is something which it's going to make you happy. So it's okay. Happy you don't need to write. But if you are worried that, okay, you might lose something, you write it down beforehand. You make a provision beforehand. Yes, provision. Yes, that's the term, Tushar. And then there's another concept which I will use the term materiality. See, there are many accounting principles. I've picked up the ones which are very important for you to understand once you go ahead in accounting. Materiality. When I say materiality, it means anything which is material. The word material in account basically means significant in English. Only relevant and materialistic information. Yes. So anything which is material should be there in your financial statement, which is very important. True. Now, the major financial statement, which is important and which is there in the annual report of every company. It's mandatory. You open annual report of anybody, annual report you can easily download. You open annual report of anybody, you will see that these three statements are definitely there. That's the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. I'm pretty sure balance sheet everybody has heard about because bachche se pucho, they know balance sheet. What is balance sheet? What is accounting? The same, it's balance sheet. This is what they know. And yes, all the aspirant CAs here, make very sure you have to make these three statements. Once you become a CA, of course, you will not be making it. You will have accountant and people below it who will be making it. But make sure you have to review all the three statements. All the three statements are finally done and in the end signed by a CA. Once it is signed by a CA, okay, it becomes a legal document for the company. Let me tell you that. And if it is found out later, some mistake is there, okay, kuch ghotala hua hai, some or the other conspiracy is there inside the document, some type of mistake showing, mistake or, intentional mistake also showing. Let me tell you, not only the company goes into like prosecution, or the company is sued, also you who have the CA who has signed will also be questioned. Okay. So it's very important for the CA to know how to scrutinize these three statements, because even if somebody else is doing for you, you are in higher CA, you don't have to do the work, but your sign will be there, your signature will be there. So you know how to review it. You have to understand each and everything of the statement. Right. Yes, I'll come back to it. I'll come all the personal questions in the end of the session, as well as all the related questions that you come across here, but you could not ask now. I'll come to the end of the session. Don't worry. Don't worry. I don't want to deviate from the topic currently. Sure. Now, definitely. Now let us go back. We are talking about balance sheet, income statement, and the cash flow statement. Giving a nutshell idea, income statement, naam se pata chalta hai, by the name we can get it. Income statement is what? Income statement is, we are going to find out how much the company earned, the income. So what do we? We will take all the earnings of the company. We will subtract all the expenses that the company has done. Finally, we get how much the company has earned. Simple thing, right? Of course, they are very much critical to it. I'll come to it, but then not now. That's income statement. Balance sheet shows the state of the company, the stature of the company by the end of the year. So by the end of the year, what company has and what it is liable. Okay, so it's assets and liabilities. We all know this balance sheet shows assets and liabilities. It means what it has, what position it stands by the end of the year. That is what our balance sheet is going to show you. Cash flow statement, as the name suggests, it's very simple. Cash flow statement, what it does by the name, it only takes into account the cash flows of the company. When I say cash flows, I'm talking about whatever cash came in, whatever cash went out. Somebody answered to me in the beginning, paisa, right? Yes. Kitna paisa aaya, kitna paisa gaya. That is what cash flow statement is all about. Cash. Okay. We'll be talking about it also eventually. Okay. So now I was telling you that it's very important to understand each of the statements, especially if you are planning to do CA, CS, yes, everybody has to do. When it comes to CS, somebody has asked me about CS as well, company secretaryship. Company secretaryship is like a compliance, okay, compliance officer. So compliance officer, you have to see that all these statements have been made by complying all the rules and regulations. Okay, that's why a CS also has to know, CS has to know a lot of law, and at the same time, CS has to know even about a little bit about accounting and costing, because you have to know the statement and then you can apply the laws and regulations which is on the statement. Now I'll be showing you some real life statement. This is how it looks like. It sounded so easy, right? This is how an income statement looks like. Okay. You have heard about the company Jindal, right? Jindal Steel. I'm pretty sure you must have heard about Jindal Steel. Okay, it's a steel-based company. This is how an income statement of a Jindal Steel looks like. Okay. I'll not get too worried about it. All the data you have to understand, and especially every industry have their own set of records. Okay. There is something you might be seeing in the income statement of one industry, but not in the income statement of another industry. You have to understand that. When you are going into work into one particular industry, you have to understand, you have to do your research, and you have to understand what expectations you might have from the income statement and the balance sheet of that particular industry. Okay. So see, this is a product-based industry. It's a Jindal Steel's profit and loss account. It's a product-based. It says steel, right? Steel and steel, various steel items. But for example, if we go and check Google's income statement, it's a service-based company. They don't sell any product. They sell service, right? So we'll be coming across it. So that varies from industry to industry. See, this is how a balance sheet looks like. Can you see? I took the balance sheet and everything of the same company itself so that it's easier for you to understand. This is how a balance sheet will look like. You have to know each and every entry and each and every element in the sheets. That is not for this masterclass though. This is how a cash flow looks like. You see, the cash flows has been divided into 3 categories. You see A, B, and C. It's operating, then certain investing, and then certain financing. Can you see cash flows have been broken into 3 categories? Can anybody tell you why those 3 categories? I'm having an eye on my chat. Already we have experienced people, so I'm hoping that somebody else knows the answer. Why we have these 3 categories in cash flow. I'm audible, I hope so, right, everyone? Yeah. Okay. So no answer. I'm hoping that you don't know. I'll be helping you out. In these 3 categories, I said cash flow is what? Whatever money came in, whatever money went out, right? Okay. So jitna paisa aaya, kitna paisa gaya. That's all about cash flows, isn't it? So when we're doing cash flows, you have to break it down into different segments to understand कि कौन से activities में पैसा आया and गया. Which activities actually brought you the money and which activities you lost money. By lost money, I said you had expenses. Okay. Okay. You wrote accounting standard 3. So accounting standard 3 specifies you have to have these activities. Mandatory business to run business operations. You have to analyze in which field we need to invest. Okay. Pradima, you are correct. Of course, you have to analyze this, but not for investment purposes. Basically, we don't need the analysis of cash flow to understand where we need to invest. Cash flow is basically a statement. It's just a picturization of your cash came in and your cash went off. Now the question is, our cash went off. It went off in which activity? When I say which activity, I'm talking about किस चीज में हमने उसको गवाया, which चीज में हमने उसको invest किया, which चीज में हमने उसको expense किया, right? So why we did, broadly we classified into 3 categories. Operating is what? The daily income and expenses, the daily working of the business. That's operating. Investing, when you are buying something which is going to give you a return for a longer period of time. You bought a phone, that is your investment. You bought a laptop, that is your investment, right? You bought some chocolates, you bought some sweets, that is your expense, that is not your investment. So you have to make sure investments are those which is going to give us some return for a longer period of time. Then financing. Financing are the expenses that we are doing to finance the business. When I say finance the business, of course, to run a business, we need money, right? Today also, if you want to start a business, you're going to ask for an investor, you ask for some, in simple words, separate classified. Yes. So broadly, we have these 3 categories. We have to understand if this money went, it went for which work. That is why the difference in the categories. True, Madhu. Yeah, easily explained. Okay. This is something that people have been talking about when I said debit credit, right? All the golden rules, isn't it? Debit is assets, asset increases, credit is liabilities, right? This is what you people have been writing to me. Yeah, this is the debit and credit, or this is the basic scenario which we have when we are studying. Yes, this is the basic scenario, right? Liabilities are credit, assets are debit. I know a lot of people wrote it down to me, so I'm pretty sure, I'm expecting that you all know it. Even if you don't know it, I'll be telling you. Is this assets are basically debit. Debit and credit, as you said, what comes in goes out, it's for real account. So basically assets are debit. So if assets increase, we debit it more. If we have to decrease, we have to credit it. So if anything is debit, you want to increase it, so it will be debited more. If you want to decrease it, okay, if you want to reduce the value, what do? You do it and you make it go in the opposite direction. That is the credit. So debit and credit are almost like twin brothers who are like in opposite poles, right? That is very basic of accounting. Okay. Now, not only, okay, whenever I have asked people that, you want to become a CA, as you said, a lot of people want to become a CA, or whenever you want to study accounting in generic, okay, you need not be a CA always, you have to go and work into accounting. Whenever you're working in accounting, okay, you don't always have to go and be a CA. CA is what? An auditor, right? An auditor, as I said, your financial statements will be given to you and you will check it. That is what an auditor does, okay? We will come across auditing as a masterclass as well. We will be talking about how the checking goes, what do they do, why do they do, how do they do, everything. But CA is an auditor, right? So CA is an auditor. So instead of working as an auditor, instead of preparing your balance sheet and all, what other roles you can also play when you are studying accounting? So when I'm saying studying accounting, you can be anything. You can be a CA and you can work in tax. You understanding? You can be a CA and you can work in payroll management as well. Okay. It does not only mean you can work in all there. I just wrote down 3 fields. There are a lot many. You can work in another fields as well. You can work under tax compliance. A CS can also work under tax compliance. A CA can also work as a tax advisor. There's a lot of advisory roles as well. They want you CS to come and they want you to give advices. Okay. Now, another thing which I wanted to talk to you and which is a bigger scope these days is budgeting, okay, and financial planning. You must have heard about the word financial planning and then you have heard about the word financial modeling, right? Nowadays, it's the era of startups. Everybody is starting up their own businesses. So as an CA, you could be called, as an accountant, you could be called to create a budget, okay, for an ongoing business also, or somebody who's having a startup. Okay, I'm currently in Bangalore, so it's a place of startup. So we get all these calls, we get all these opportunities to create a financial plan. When I'm saying financial plan is like before starting a business, you have to show a plan of 5 years. Yes, before investing in the same. I'm pretty sure everybody here has watched Shark Tank, right? Shark Tank is something pretty famous. So Shark Tank, everybody has watched. So even if they are doing a business, you go and you tell you pitch your business in Shark Tank. What do they ask you? What are your coming plans for the 5 years? How do you value yourself? Okay. What is the sales that you plan to have in the next year and then year next? Okay. So don't only ask you historical information. They don't ask you कि क्या आपने कर लिया है. What you have already done. They're also going to ask you what you plan to do. And you think that as an owner, I am the person who knows how to market my product. I am the person who has the brains to make the product. And then I am the person who will make the finances. No. They hire people. They hire people like you and me, just to make sure that this is my business. This is how it has been operating. This is the data I'm giving you. You give me a plan and budget for the coming 5 years. Okay. Of course, you have to know, you have to understand so that you can go and pitch it to somebody. But that is next situation. You have to make a plan. So that is where I'm telling you all our accountants work comes into play. There's a lot of job roles in US and in outside country, where they tell you, where they give you the data and they say, I want a budget and a financial plan for my coming 10 years. That's the job. It's a very freelancing job as well, basically. Okay. Now, when you have a set of data, you have all the financial reports. You have, for example, I showed you reports of Jindal Steel, right? So I have this report for Jindal Steel for 2020, 21, 22. What do? I analyze. We compare. Okay. If I'm saying you the company is doing good, How will I say the company is doing good? I will look into the past 3 records, 4 records, right? And I will look at the trend. I look at the trend. Okay, the income is always rising. That is the trend, right? That is one trend. I look into the individual company and its own records for the past year. That is trend analysis. We're understanding how the company is doing. Number 2, there's benchmark. There's always a benchmark analysis, Yeah, we have to keep. Yeah, we'll be keeping it. Yes, we'll be keeping it. There will be always a benchmark. When I say benchmark, it's like there's an highest point. You have to compare yourself with that point. Okay, how you're doing and according to that. Then when we talk about variance analysis is what? Difference analysis. Okay, last year you had a profit of $100. This year a profit of $80. So there is a variance, there's a difference of $20. You have to find out and analyze. You have to go back in your statement and find out why this difference occurred. Okay. I will be telling in a nutshell about the financial forecasting method. When I talked about forecasting, I just now talked about forecasting, that you have to forecast for 5 years, 10 years, right? Okay. So there are 3 methods to do it. These are the broad methods, broadly. Top-down approach is basically you start with the sales and you work across down. Bottom-up approach, you start with individual work line. A company has a lot of work lines. Reliance, so many work lines are there, right? There's Reliance Telecommunication, there's Reliance Petrol, there's shoes, there's clothing, right? You take up each of the line and then you work your way all the way from down to up. That you find out, okay, this is much is needed, income earned, what were the expenses, how much has we earned the total revenue, we go down. And then there's rolling forecasting. Rolling forecasting is you have to keep on recurring forecasting. Today, I'm sitting and I'm forecasting for 1 year. Then again, by the end of the year, I'm forecasting for another year. So it's a rolling, it's a continuous process of forecasting. Okay. We talked about cash flow, right? We talked about cash flow already. Now, when the same thing which we read about accurate accounting, the same thing is about cash flows itself. We have to make sure that our cash flows are managed properly. They are very crucial. Okay, because cash flows talk about the liquidity of the company. Liquidity means, it's again a jargon. Liquidity means, aapke paas kitna paisa hai, how much money do you have, right? That is the liquidity of the company. So you have to understand, you must have some amount with you. You cannot invest everything. The same thing goes for our personal finances as well, right? You must have something in your savings account as well. You must not keep on investing it everywhere because it might have a sudden requirement. Then what? That is what my question is. Okay. Now, another way of accounting, you must have seen in the courses India offers, people are saying me CACS only. There's another course called CMA, like cost management accounting, right? CMA. That is cost management accounting. They have a very important role in inventory management. This cost management accounting, or rather cost accountant people, they work in the manufacturing area, okay? In the manufacturing area. And in the manufacturing area, there is a huge method of making adjustments to the inventory. Inventory means what? Inventory means stock, right? So you have to make sure how much stock is there, how much stock is being used by the company, it's in the daily process or rather in the monthly process, how much we should be refilling it every time. In the peak season and in the off season, how much stock should be kept, all these things. This is the inventory management part. And they are majorly the cost accountant who work in the inventory management sector. So I think so. Well, while wrapping up, whatever we did, I'll just have a quick recap of all these things. We did what is accounting. We did the difference between accounting and bookkeeping. Okay. I'm just recapping it for you so that if you have any questions, you can ask me in the next session, in the next time allotted. So we did what is accounting, bookkeeping. We talked about double entry system. We talked about a lot of principles of accounting, which are very important. We talked about the different statements of accounting, whether it's balance sheet, whether it's income, whether it's cash flow, how it operates. We got a real life statement to look into, of course, not to work with, to look into how it operates. We talked about how many roles of accounting are there across the world, as well as in India ourselves, and how can accounting work. And it does not always have to mean that you have to be an accountant only if you're knowing accounting. You can go across tax, you can go across all these domains as well, inventory, every domain as well. Okay. This is the key takeaway from whatever we did approximately. I hope so. You got it, what I was trying to say. Now you have the time to ask me questions. Okay. If you unmute yourself, you might. Okay. Explain about trend analysis again. Okay. Trend analysis is, if I'm telling you how is the trend going? Okay. We use this word, na? We wear clothes and we say, no, this is trending. This is the trend. So trend is something which is going for a continuous period of time. For example, I'm looking into the income of one particular company, thing that the company is X company. I'm looking at the income of X company
from 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5 years, right? So I'm looking into and I'm seeing that, okay, it's usually, just from 20 to 21, it dropped a bit, but then from 21 to 22, it has risen, it has grown, it has grown. So the trend is an upward trend. It's growing. So I can say that the trend of this income statement or this income, particularly of this company, is an upward trend. Ridhima, I hope I'm clear. Okay. What else? Now we have the Q&A section. Feel free to ask. If something I have missed, you can go ahead, you can ask. If you really want to know something like what you have to do in your career, accounting is the basis of everything. If you want to do a career in finance, accounting comes the first step. Okay. You can unmute yourself and ask just in case you're not able to write it down here, or else you can write it down here. I'll approach your questions.
Yeah, so guys, this is an just complete Q&A session, question and answer session. Your all doubts, confusions, everything is welcome. You can ask related to the content or related to the career options within your accountancy field. Okay, so either you can unmute yourself or you can drop your question in the chat section.
Okay. Somebody asked me about CMA US work, right? CMA US work also, if you're doing CMA US, or there's another good option is CPA. Okay. All the same things work like we do in India, the same things, same operations. Of course, you have to do IFRS. You have to do the world level accounting standards there. Okay. Nowadays, we are also incorporating IFRS. So not to worry about that. There you can work in, if you're doing CMA or CPA. That's another important thing which I forgot maybe. In US, you can work across like a tax compliant, tax advisory, like a internal auditor, everything. And of course, CMA in US also is cost accounting. When I'm saying cost accounting itself is a very huge part. Huh? You can do inventory cost accounting. Okay, you can work as. Of course, once you do the course, all you have to know, you have to get into the industry and have to work accordingly to learn more, right? Industry work. So when I'm saying cost management in US, it's the same thing, inventory management or manufacturing departments or manufacturing organizations. You will be attached to manufacturing organizations to work in US. It's the same thing. Don't worry about, okay, some work will be different here. No, it's not like that. I'm telling you, the CPA works in US in the same manner like VCA works here, VCA work here. Okay, the CPA, same thing. They do it. But of course, what differs is only the methods and the way of reporting in different countries. Nowadays, there is a huge demand in Australia as well. Because anyways in Australia, population is less. I hope so, Shalini, you got your answer? Okay. Yeah, I've got my CS membership. I'm not, not got my CA membership because I'm not working as one. And another very important thing, which I would like to tell you, you can't use your both memberships together. Huh? You can work one at a time. You cannot work as a CA and CS both. I've done both of them, but yes, you cannot work at them. But yeah, currently, if you're asking about me, I'm working as a financial analyst. Okay, because I've done my MBA also in finance. So analyst works, something, whatever inspires you, whatever you feel loved. Yes, Shalini, you can, but yes, if you've qualified CMA, US CMA, you can work in India as well. But I would say if you have qualified US CMA, it's better to go and work in US because the demand is higher there, number one. And number two, in the demand for CA and CSS, because already they are producing bulk in India, basically, that will always be greater than US CMA. Another very important thing, I'll tell you, the difference between if you're doing US CMA and you're doing something course in India is the regulations. Okay, major regulations. Major regulations. Okay, the regulations you will be studying. See, the law is something which is different. Okay, and law states some things. Some things like law states, you have to show this in this way. You have to make this statement only. So the law varies. That is the reason you must be knowing if you are doing law here. If you go to US and you work as a lawyer, you have to pass some courses there itself. Similar will be the case. If you are doing your CMA, your law structure differs. That's why your method of reporting. Of course, your accounting will be very clear. Huh? They will hire you in base of accounting. But then also you have to do some courses to get your hold in this country. Okay. So your question is, Madhu, how to get career as a business or financial analyst? Okay, to get career in financial analyst, you can do any of these. CS are not usually hired as analysts, company secretariat, but yeah, you can do MBA because MBA is very important for being an analyst. Why? Because I said MBA gives a very holistic approach. CA is a very studious approach, and MBA gives a very holistic approach. To be an analyst, you have to be really good in communication. You have to know how to handle stakeholders as well, apart from being a finance expert. So that's the reason MBA is preferred. But of course, CAs can also be an analyst. No issues. How to get your first job in such a field? Okay. Okay. Sure. See, I have very limited time. So how to get your first job in this field, Madhu? This is a very, what do I say, very different question. So I would say that once you finish your course, once you are finishing a course like CA, as you said that you want to do CA, you will not have a trouble in finding a job. Why? Because as you know, CA passing rate is already low, right? So they make sure that they are making people pass as much as is demand in the economy. So there are clear demands for analysts, there are clear demand for finance experts, there are clear demand from everything, tax advisory roles and everything which a CA can work as. The open courses, the openings are multiple. So you can really work fast in that. So it will be very easy if you qualify CA once. That's for sure. Okay. So we have to wrap up. I have just 1 minute. If somebody asks any question, I'll just wrap it up. Time exceeded. So sorry for that. If you have experience as an accounting executive, right? For 2 years experience as an accounting executive, what is the next step? Okay, one thing, if you really want to don't pursue anything in course of accounts after being an accounting executive, I'm hoping that when you're working in the field, you already have gathered the experience. I would say something that to come into the major role of analyst or advisory, okay, you have to keep on upgrading yourself. When I talk about upgrading, I'm not only meaning that आप finance में ही upgrade करो. Okay, of course you can upgrade in finance also. You learn about financial modeling and all this stuff because every place has every different requirement. Or you upgrade yourself in the current technology, or you upgrade yourself nowadays in AI and everything, because AI and finance together, you can get roles as product manager, product organizer, everybody. So the courses are very vast. Okay. 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 Okay, I hope so. I have answered everybody who wanted to have. Of course, you have a lot of questions. We'll be taking this up later about your career as well. But I would suggest you, everybody who listened to me, I would suggest you be very specific, have a goal in your head and go ahead. All the people who wrote down to me who wanted to do CS, please go ahead. CS's job has improved a lot over the decade, like the past 5-6 years, CS has been made compulsory by our government. So please go ahead. It's a very good course. That's all for me, my end. Thank you. Sure.
Thank you so much, Shalini ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful masterclass.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, can you please stop share the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Ridhima ma'am, took over from here.
Hi, yes, ma'am. Shall I start now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can start.
Okay.
And
Hi, everyone.
Just for the interference, Ridhima ma'am, just give me a minute.
Okay.
So just for an interference, there is a good news for all of you guys, as our managing director is too joining this session very soon. So additionally, we are blessed enough to get some knowledge and some guidance from that side too. So after this session, he will be on the he will be on the mode of speaker. So for till that now, Ridhima ma'am, please you can take over.
Okay. So hi guys, my name is Ridhima Banta. I'm basically from Pathankot, Punjab, and I am an accounting trainer. I'm going to teach you practically whatever you have learned from Shalini ma'am today regarding accounting and finance. I'm going to teach you practically the same way regards to accounting and finance. So we are going to cover some basic topics today of accounting, tele accounting. So I have a total experience of 8+ years in accounting field, accounting and finance. So I'm going to start, I'm going to share my screen with you. Please tell me if the screen is visible to everybody or not. Okay? Yes. Yes, guys, you can share your replies in the chat box and tell me, is the screen visible to everybody? Okay, Chanda says yes. Okay, Chanda, thank you so much. Sabrine says yes. Okay. And before starting the session, I want to give you some instructions, like whatever questions I'm going to ask from you, I need everybody to please stay active in the session during session, and I want everybody to reply in the chat box. Okay, guys? Okay, I'm going to start the session now. So my first topic of discussion is tele accounting. I want to introduce you with tele accounting before like giving you the introduction about the tele prime software. So can anybody tell me, like, what do you mean by tele? I just need the general meaning of tele from everybody. What do you mean by tele? Yes, guys. Yes, it is a accounting software, but I'm just asking, what do you mean by tele? Only the meaning of general meaning of tele. I know it is a accounting software, but what do you mean by tele? Yes, Chanda, Sabrine. Okay, recording transactions in computerized form. Very good. Sham Prasad, not reconciling. Reconciling is another topic. It is a kind of different topic. But Madhu, yes, Madhu, you are absolutely right. And somebody has sent me a message calculating the total number of, yes, when we like when we calculate the total number of something, like when we calculate the total number of income, when we calculate the total number of expense, when we calculate the total number of profit, so that counting of the profit, income and expense is known as tally. Okay, guys? Yes, thank you guys for your reply. Okay, now I want to introduce with the Tele Prime accounting software. So it is a multilingual accounting software. It is an integrated business management software. Why we call it as an integrated business management software? Because in this software, with the help of this software, you will learn how to punch the business data, how to record the financial transactions in computerized manner, and how you can, if you are running a international business, then how you can connect your international clients with the help of this software. You will learn each and everything in this software. Okay, so that's why we call it as integrated business management software, because with the help of this software, when you will learn that like how to punch the data, how to record the financial transactions, so basically you will ultimately learn that how you are managing your business, how you are managing your financial transactions with the help of one software, that is Teleprime. Okay, guys, understood? So it is a very simple and very easy to understand software. We don't need to go for any hard and fast rules in order to learn this software. You can learn this software in any language, like whatever language you are comfortable with. You can change the language of this software at any time. Like if you want to use the software, if you want to use this software in Hindi language, you can change the language of the software in Hindi. If you want to change, if you want to learn this software in Punjabi language, Marathi language, Tamil language, or in any language, you can change your language as per your suitability. So that's why it is called as multilingual accounting software, because we can access, we can record the data in any language. All right, guys. So this is the second advantage of using this software. And the third advantage, what you will get from the software, that you can print out your sales bills, your purchase bills, your purchase vouchers, your sales voucher, your payment vouchers, and you can even automatically generate your balance sheet, your income statement, your profit and loss statement, and even you can create your like on like whatever data you have punched in this software, your reports, your accounting reports, your inventory reports, your banking reports, your taxation reports will get generated automatically. But in order to in order to maintain the reports in an accurate manner, you have to be very accurate while punching the data in teleprime. You should know about the basics of accounting. You should know about like which account you should need to debit the account, and which account you need to credit. You must know about the basic debit and credit rules, which Shalini ma'am has taught you right now, right? So you must know about the debit and credit rules. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to start with the practical part. So first of all, I'll teach you today how you need to create a company in Teleprime, how you will create the company in Teleprime for the very first time. So this is your startup screen in front of you. You can see that they have mentioned the path. They have mentioned a path where your Teleprime software has been installed. So this is the C drive, and under C drive they have a user folder, and under user folder they have public folder. So finally under public folder we have a setup of Teleprime. Okay, so whenever you are going to install this software in your laptops, in your systems, you will always get this data path in your screen. Okay, and you can see that these are the list of companies. These are the list of companies. You can see that their names are not visible on the screen. Why? Because while creating these companies, I have provided them a specific password and specific security control passwords. That's why when we provide any password, or when we provide any password or any security control password to my company in Teleprime, so what the software will do, it will hide the name of the company. Why? Can anybody tell me why we need passwords and security control passwords in Teleprime? Yes, guys, I need everybody to reply. For security. But why we need security, Chanda? Why we need security in Teleprime? Yes, guys. Chanda, can you explain about hackers in detail? Can you make a proper sentence? Yes, everybody, the other people, you also share your replies in the chat box. Why we need security options in Teleprime company? Yes. So Chanda is saying that in order to protect the data from unusual hackers and unauthorized people, we need security options in Teleprime. The way we, like while we generate our first Gmail ID, so whenever we create any Gmail account, so they ask us to create a password. So why we need a password for Gmail account? So that none other than, like, nobody could able to open our Gmail IDs, and nobody could able to hack our Gmail IDs. That's why we need security. We need passwords. So in the same manner, while creating the companies in Teleprime, while creating the company, when we enable the security option in while creating company, so it will automatically hide the name of the company, so that the hackers and the unauthorized people could not able to find our company, like which company is ours. Like, so when the company name will get hide, so it will be difficult for the unusual users to know about the company details. and they will not able to open the company. And you can see that just below we have some other companies whose names are showing on the screen. Why? Because in these companies, when I was creating these companies, so I didn't enable the security option. So which means that for these companies, I didn't create any password. That's why their names are showing on the screen. All right, guys. Clear to everybody? Okay. Now, I will show you how we can create a company in Teleprime. For this, there is the option of create company showing on the screen. I'll just click enter on it, and here I will tell you how to create a company. Let's suppose I'm creating a company with a name Chanda Private Limited. Okay, and you can see that there is a company data path showing on the screen. Even you can change this data path later on as well. If you like, if the C drive is completely full, then you can change the data path as well. It's okay, Chanda, no problem. I'm just showing you randomly that how you can create a company in Teleprime. So now I am adding a address over here opposite Central Bank. Crossing Road, Delhi. Okay, so I have mentioned the city name as Delhi. Okay, so if in the address, guys, if in the address you have specifically mentioned the city name, then as per city you have to select the next option, that is the state option. So for selecting the state, on the right hand side you can see that there is a n number of list of states are given to you. So from this list of states you can select the state as per the city you have entered in the address field. Okay, so I will select Haryana as a city. Now I will add a pin code 144001. Now I want to tell you one more thing here. As I selected Haryana as my state, so country India has automatically comes in their respective field. So you can see that right now India country is being selected. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see that there is a base currency symbol. Can anybody tell me what is the currency of India? What is the currency of India, guys? Yes, rupee. Okay, so you can see that as I have selected India as my country, so you can see that there is a base currency symbol showing Indian rupee. Okay, if I select from the right hand side list of countries, if I select any international country, let's suppose that I'm also doing the international business. So I'm doing a business in Hong Kong. So when I select this country as Hong Kong, you can see that the base currency symbol will change from Indian rupee to Hong Kong dollar. All right, guys. Yes, clear to everybody. Okay, now again I will change the country to India now. So you can see that your base currency symbol will again change to Indian rupee. Now we will proceed further now. Okay, so here they are asking you the telephone details, mobile details, fax details, email details, and website details. You can put all these details manually, but it is not mandatory for you to add these details, because in order to keep the data confidential, from the so that your data could not go in the hands of the unauthorized users, you can skip the telephone details, mobile details, and email and website details. All right, so I'm skipping these details. You can add these details later on also manually. Okay, now before starting with the next field, I want to ask from everybody, 2024 year is going on. So what is the financial year for 2024? Yes, I need everybody to reply in the chat box. Yes, guys. Sabrine, please send me the complete financial year. In which month your financial year starts? Okay, 1st April 2024 and ends on? Yes, exactly. So it ends on 31st March 2025. Now, here in this field, in the current field, they are not asking you to add the complete financial year. They are just asking you to add the financial year beginning month. So the financial year beginning month is here by default, that is 1st April 2024. And the books begins from 1st April 2024 itself also. So sometimes what students do, they do the mistake that like they put the complete financial period. In the first field, they put 1st April, and in the second field, they put 31st March. But it is not like that. You just need to, don't need to change these two fields because company has provided you the information in these two fields by default. So you don't need to do any changes here. Okay. Now, here comes the part of security. Here comes the option of security. So first option is set televolt password to encrypt company data. I will enable this option and I'm going to add a televolt password for Chanda Private Limited. Here I'm going to add a specific password. So before adding the password, I want to tell you one thing, that you have to keep your password very simple to understand, very simple to remember. But you have to keep your password very strong, not a weak password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, I'm going to repeat the password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, just below the confirm televolt password, they have given a warning message. If you forget your televolt password, you will permanently lose access to your company data. Are you understanding what they are saying to you? If just in case, if you by mistake, you forget your televolt password, whenever you are going to open this company for the next time, and just in case if you forget your televolt password, then you will not able to open this company again ever in your life. Okay? Understood, guys? Yes, guys, understood? Okay. So again, I'm going to press enter. Okay, wait a second. They are saying that password is not matching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now the next part comes here. Control user access to company data. This is the second option, which is related to administrator. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by administrator? Yes, who is the administrator for this company? Either the owner of the company or any specific person. Yes, guys, share your replies in the chat box. Okay, Chanda saying owner. And what about others? Yes, Sakshi, Saloni. Sham Prasad, yes, tell me. Who will be considered as the administrator, either owner of the business or some other concerned person? Okay, Sham Prasad says IT administrator. Okay, so I want to tell you the real answer that the owner will be consider himself as the administrator for this software, because overall, you know, whatever the decisions has to be taken by the owner himself, and whatever working to be done in the business, it has to be delegated by the owner to the respective employees by himself only. So he will be considered as the administrator. So now they are asking you to add the administrator username. So here I will add Chanda. And now I will add the different password, or either I can keep a same password similar like Televolt password. So here I will add 123456. 123456. So you can see that again you will get a warning message on the right hand side bottom screen that if you forget your administrator password or Televolt password, you will not able to access your data in the Teleprime again. Okay, all right guys. Yes guys, clear to you how to create company in Teleprime? Okay, very good. So now this is the last option in the company creation screen. After this, I will simply press enter, and you can see that before starting the company, it will ask me to add the Televolt password, which I have, which I have kept for my company. 12345678 9. Again, it will ask me the username. So the username is Chanda, and the password is 123456. When I press enter, you will see on the top of the screen they are saying that company created successfully, which means that your both passwords are absolutely right. With the help of the password, you can keep your data confidential. You can keep your data away from the hands of the unauthorized users and from the hands of hackers also. Okay, and you can see that on the screen they have given you accounting settings, accounting features, inventory features, taxation features, and other payroll features as well. So as per your requirement, whatever working you are doing in Teleprime software, you can enable or disable these features as per your requirement, as per your need, at any point of time. You can enable and disable any option as per your requirement and as per your need. Okay guys, now I will press Control plus A. So there are around 30 to 40 shortcut keys of this accounting software. So whenever you will enroll for the course, you will get to know about each and accounting shortcut key in your sessions, upcoming sessions. All right guys. Yes, Chanda, Sabreen, and what about Kruti and Sham Prasad? Clear to everybody how to create company in Teleprime? Yes, very good. Okay, very nice everybody. Okay, now the next topic here is how to create ledgers in Teleprime. Like Shalini ma'am has taught you about the ledgers, about the trial balance, about the journal, right? So I want to ask from everybody. Okay, Chanda is using Tele from 8 years. Very nice, Chanda. That's a very, very good thing. Okay, so I want to ask from everybody, what do you mean by ledgers? As Shalini ma'am has taught you today about the journal, ledger, and trial balance, can you please tell me what do you mean by ledger? Yes, guys. I need a prompt reply from everybody. What do you mean by ledgers? Yes, Chanda. Is it a book or a financial statement? Ledger is a, book or a financial statement. Yes, Sabrine is saying that opening an account with individual name. Yes, very right. Chanda is saying it is a book. And what about Sham Prasad and Kruti and Saloni, Sakshi? Okay. So yes, ledger is a book of secondary entry. Ledger is a book, yes, where we can record. Yes. So basically, journal is a primary book of accounts in which we record the financial transactions as per the dates in which it has happened, in which the transaction has happened. So as per those dates, we record we record the all the financial transactions in a like arithmetic order as per the dates in which the transaction has happened. But in the ledger is a book of secondary entry in which we post the financial transactions from the journal book. Okay, we post the financial transactions in an individual account from with the help of journal book. If my journal book is correct or accurate, then it means that I will be able to create the ledger book in a very accurate manner. Okay. Yes, not all the payment details we record, but we record like debit and credit accounts in ledger. And in under ledger book, we record all the debit and credit accounts from the journal book. Yes, Chanda, you are absolutely right. Yes. So now I will show you how practically, how electronically you can create ledgers in TelePrime. So for this, on the right hand side, you can see that there is a big dialog box in blue color showing on the screen, light blue color. So this dialog box has been divided into four, options. One is master, transaction, utilities, and reports. Okay, now I will show you how you can create ledgers in under master. So for this under master we have three options: create option, alter option, chart of accounts. I'll go to create option, and you can see that there is a accounting master, there is an inventory master showing on the screen. Today I will show you only ledger creation. Here I'll go to ledger, and this is the ledger creation screen. Okay. So before proceeding with the ledger creation, I want to tell you that in TelePrime, whenever you are going to create n number of companies in TelePrime, after creating each company, you will get 28 groups which are to be available in TelePrime by default. So those 28 groups will be available to you by default in TelePrime. You don't need to create those 28 groups at your own. Okay. And as on the basis of those 28 groups, you are going to create ledgers in TelePrime. Yes, like cash. So cash, yes, I want to, tell you one more thing, that there are two specific ledgers which are already available to you in TelePrime whenever you create any company. One is cash ledger and the other one is profit and loss account ledger. So you don't need to create these two ledgers again and again. Okay. So as I have created Chanda Private Limited, so I'll start with the first ledger, Chanda's capital account. So can anybody tell me what do you mean by capital? Yes, guys, what do you mean by capital? Yes. But Sabrine, can you explain the money in proper sentence? Like, what do you mean by capital? Any business need capital. Yes. Chanda is saying that in order to start any business, whether it is a small scale, medium scale, or a large scale level business, we need always finances in order to, start any kind of business. So here, Chanda Private Limited has started their business, And the first ledger they have created here is Chanda's capital. So I know about each and every ledger, like which ledger will create under which group. So yes, Kruti is very right. Assets and cash in business. Very good. Very nice. So here, Chanda's capital account. So capital account is the initial amount of money which is being invested by the owner of the business in his business in order to start the business. So Chanda's capital account will come under capital account group, which is showing on the right hand side list of groups. Okay, I'll press Control plus A. Now the next ledger I'm going to create is purchase account. It will come under purchase account. Now tell me, is purchase is an expense for the business or an income for the business? Yes, Chanda is saying expense. Very good, Chanda. And what about other people? Yes, Sham Prasad, you are absolutely right. So it is an expense. That's why we have created this ledger under purchase account. Because while generating the reports, while generating balance sheet, while generating profit and loss account, while generating income statement, we have to specifically, show the purchases, total purchases of the business under the head purchase account, not under the head expenses. Okay, although the category it is an expense for the business, but while generating the reports we need to show total purchases under purchase account head. Okay guys, now the next ledger is sales account. It will be created under sales account group. Now tell me, sales is an income for the business or expense for the business? Yes, Kruti, you are absolutely right. Sabrine, you are absolutely right. Very nice, guys. Yes, Chanda, Sham Prasad, very nice, Chanda. Absolutely right. Okay, so it is an income for the business. That's why we are going to create sales ledger under sales account, because when the reports will get generated, so it will automatically show the total sales under sales account head. Okay. Next is central tax. So before discussing about the central tax, before discussing about the central tax, can anybody tell me at present what kind of indirect tax system is prevailing in Indian economy? Yes, Saloni, Sakshi, Sabrine, Chanda. Yes, Sham Prasad, you are absolutely right. Chanda, Kruti, Sabrine, absolutely right. Yes, yes, very right. So I want to ask you, like, are you aware about the GST knowledge, basic knowledge about GST? Okay. So I will ask you questions one by one. How many types of transactions are there under GST Council? Yes, how many types of transactions are there under GST Council? Yes, guys. How many types of transactions are there under GST Council? Yes, Chanda. Can you name them? Have you heard about intrastate and interstate? Yes, guys, have you heard about intrastate and interstate transaction? Yes. Guys, can you tell me, like, under intrastate purchase and intrastate sale, what type of GST, how many types of GST we calculate? Yes, Sakshi. Under intrastate purchase and intrastate sales transaction, how many types of GST we charge? Chanda, I'm not asking about the rate. You are absolutely right. It is 18%. But what type of taxes, we charge under intrastate transaction? Okay, I'll tell you. Under intrastate purchase or intrastate sale, we always calculate two types of taxes. That is, one is central tax and the other one is state tax. So it depends upon the state with whom, like in which state we are dealing with the supplier. If the supplier is charging 18% GST, then he will charge central tax at the rate 9% and state tax at the rate 9%. If he is charging 12% GST, then we need to pay central tax at the rate 6% and state tax at the rate 6%. All right, guys, clear to everybody? Okay. Now, in case of interstate transactions, what type of GST we calculate? What do you mean by interstate transaction? Within the same state or outside the state? Yes, Sakshi, you are absolutely right. It is outside the state. Suppose I belongs to Punjab and Chanda belongs to, this Haryana. So Haryana is a different state and Punjab is a different state, basically. So when I deal with Chanda, so what kind of dealing I'm doing is, I'm doing interstate purchase from Chanda. So Chanda will charge integrated goods and service tax at the rate either 18%, either 12%, or either 28%. It depends upon the product, like it depends upon the category of products which I am going to purchase from Chanda. All right, guys, clear to you? Yes, Chanda, you are absolutely right. Clear to everybody? Okay. So here I will create central tax under duties and taxes. And now here I will select the type of duty GST. Tax type will be CGST at the rate. Either I can keep 9%. So as of now, I'll keep 9%. Now next is state tax. State tax will be under duties and taxes, GST, SGST, 9%. Okay, clear to everybody how to create central tax and state tax ledgers? Okay, we will proceed further. Next, I will create plant and machinery. What do you mean by plant and machinery? Is plant and machinery is a current asset or a fixed asset for the business? Yes, Chanda saying fixed asset. Okay, Kruti saying fixed asset. Sham Prasad, Sabreen saying both are saying fixed assets. Yes, absolutely right. So there is a fixed asset group is created by the company. So I'll maintain the plant and machinery ledger under fixed assets. Next is bills receivable. Now, before asking from you about the bill receivable, can you differentiate between receivable and received? What do you mean by receivable and received? Yes, guys, what do you mean by receivable and received? And received means? already got. So Chanda is saying that receivable means the money which we will going to receive in the coming days, and received means the money which we already received before the expiry of the due date. All right. So so here bill receivable means that the pending amount which we have not received right now from the respective party, but will be received on the later date, on the future date. So it will be our fixed asset or a current asset. Yes, guys. Okay, Chanda, Kruti, Sham Prasad, very good, guys. What about Sakshi, Sabreen? No, it will be income when we will receive it finally. But right now it is a receivable amount. If we have not received it right now, so it will be comes under current asset. Okay, Chanda. Next is bills payable. Yes, guys. What do you mean by payable and paid? What is the difference between payable and paid? No, please explain me in a proper way. Chanda, please explain me in proper way. Okay. And what do payable means will paid soon? Yes, Kruti is saying that payable means we have not paid the expense right now, but will be paid soon in the coming future. Paid means payment has been completed already. So now tell me, bills payable will be your current liability or what? Yes. Kruti is saying current liability. And what about others? Okay, very nice, very nice. Yes, you all are absolutely right. It will be considered as current liability. Next is prepaid expense. Now tell me this. This term is very important. What do you mean by prepaid expense? I need proper answers from everybody. What do you mean by prepaid expense? Yes, Kruti is saying that expense which we already paid in advance before the expiry of the time period. Already paid expense. Yes, very nice. So it will be considered as your current liability or a current asset. Yes, guys. ये current asset होगा. Okay, Sham Prasad saying current asset. Very good. What about Chanda, Sabreen, Kruti, Sakshi? Okay, very nice. Sabreen, you are absolutely right. Kruti is right. Okay, it will be considered as current assets. Very nice, guys. Okay, so this is all about like how to create ledgers in Teleprime. So I hope you already understood in a proper manner that how we are going to create ledgers. Now we'll show you where the ledgers has been saved. Just below create option, I'll go to alter option and go to ledger, and you can see that all the ledgers have been created successfully. And just in case if you want to do the editing of some specific ledger, you can open it and you can do the editing as per your requirement. Okay, clear to everybody? Now the last topic for 5 minutes will be the GST activation process, like how before starting the GST bills, like before punching the purchase bills and sales bills under GST, how you are going to activate the GST details at the company level So we are going to discuss that thing practically. So for that, we have a specific shortcut key with us. The shortcut key is F11. And you can see that I already told you about this screen when I had created the company. So you can see that on the right hand side, there is an option of enable goods and service tax. I will open it, and now they have given you the GST detail and your registration status is active. Okay. So whatever state you have selected while creating the company, it will come over here automatically. Now they are asking you, are you a regular dealer, composition dealer, or a special economic zone dealer? So I am a regular dealer. I will select from the registration type. Now they are asking in the third option that, are you the SSC of other territory? Which means that, are you running your business in other territories also? So if your answer is yes, then you have to enable it to yes. If your answer is no, then keep it as no. Yes, I will tell you, Chanda. Wait a second. Let me discuss the activation process. And after that, I will, tell you about the composition dealer. So now, as Haryana state has been selected over here, so can anybody tell me what is the, STD code for Haryana? Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Can anybody tell me what is the STD, GST code for Haryana? Yes, but I'm asking for Haryana, Chanda. So I will tell you, don't worry. I will tell you, it will start from 06, and I'm adding a random GSTN number here, ABCDF 2568 H1Z9. This is the 15-digit GSTN number of Haryana. Don't think this is the actual GST number of Haryana. It is just a random GST number I have punched here. Okay. And after that, they will ask you what is the periodicity of GST1. So do you know, like, GST1 is related to which report and GSTR2 related to which report? Yes, Chanda, Sham Prasad, Sabreen, can you tell me? Okay, I will tell you. GSTR1 report is related to all the sales, whatever you like, all the total sales you have done in the whole financial year. GSTR1 report will generate your sales report. GSTR1 will generate your total sales report, and GSTR2 will generate your total purchase report of the whole financial year. So you can, check the periodicity of GSTR1 on monthly basis also, either on quarterly basis also. If I select quarterly, then whenever you do the sales transactions, you will always get the quarter reports, 3 months reports, or either 4 months reports of GSTR1. Okay. Okay, sir. Give me just 2 minutes, sir. Now, in the second option, they have given you set and alter company GST rate and other details. So you just need to, what you need to do, you just need to enable this option, and here you just need to specify the details like HSN code, description like electronic products. And here also you need to specify the GST details. Wait a second. you need to specify the GST details like this. Okay. So this is the total process that you will learn while activating the GST. Okay, guys. So this is all up for today, guys. So I hope you have understood all the things, all the 3 topics in a proper manner. So thank you so much, guys. This is all up for today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, student, for joining the masterclass. So we'll be see you on Monday as well. There is also 1 hour masterclass on Monday for different topics. So we'll be update on the group. So any feedback
Okay,
about
ma'am.
the classes? Yes, ma'am.
Can I leave the class now?
Yes, ma'am. You can show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So see you on the next class. Thank you for joining the masterclass. It will be on Monday on the same timing. It will be 2 p.m. Thank you. You can leave the meeting. Yes, yes.